your experience in impeachment trial, I just would
The
like
third
na sa'yo.
third impeachment trial, if ever it pushes through.
Yung first kay former President
ERAP.
Joseph Estrada and
Second was
the late
Justice
Chief Justice Renata Corona.
Corona.
And now, if it comes to pass, the Senate, the Vice President. May we pick your brains on this matter, sir?
I will attest to the fact that in a number of times, those moments that we are able to talk with the President,
Marcos, you mean?
President Marcos, yes, President Bongbong Marcos, during the course of the campaign. He was really inclined not to support the impeachment. I believe yung sinabi niya noon na parang makagulo sa takbo ng ekonomiya, ng gobyerno. He's reiterating it now. Well, I agree because yun ang nakita ko, narinig ko sa kanya. I can attest to the fact that he really means that he is not in favor of the impeachment process at this point.
Pero ni-reiterate niya, sir, na hindi naman kami, yung mga allies ko, inisip niya yung kabila na hindi ko, I have no control. Pero as president, di ba, whatever he says should go, especially with his ally.
Yes and no. Let me explain. Yes, perhaps in the political world. But as far as the Senate world is concerned, you know, the Senate has never been fully controlled by any president. In my experience as a member of the Senate since 1992, I've served 9 Senate presidents. I have seen the best of them, and I have seen things that I should not follow as a Senate president when I was the 10th during that time. So, hindi lahat ng pagkakataon ng presidente nakikialam sa Senado at pwedeng makialam. Merong mga nag-attempt na makialam pero hindi rin nasusunod eh. Like in the 9th Congress, the president was President Fidel Ramos. He was a member of he was a Lakas party stalwart.
Yeah.
But we elected an LDP president.
Senate.
Senator Neptali Gonzalez. We did not follow the wishes of President Ramos, who had only 3 members of Lakas in the Senate during that time.
Santa Nina Rasul,
Santa Nina Rasul,
si Leti.
Leti Shahani, and thereafter Tito Gingola,
Yeah.
who was earlier elected as LDP. Sa amin, we were 15 ang LDP during that time. Anyway, so when it was the time of President Erap, that was the only time that pinagbigyan ng Senado yung gusto ng kahilingan ng Presidente. Ang gusto niya si Chief Justice Marcelo Fernandez ang maging Senate President, and we acceded. Now,
Pero kontrolado, anong kongreso yung 10th Congress?
no, 11th Congress.
Oo.
11th Congress.
Ano mas marami nun, sir?
Medyo labo-labo na yun. Medyo marami doon ng marami doon ng may mga LDP pa rin, pero may mga PMP na. Tapos may Lakas pa rin. Medyo labo-labo na yun.
Okay.
Dating noong 1998, hindi na controlled ng LDP yung buo.
Mm.
And then, during the time of President Gloria Macapagal, hindi ko naramdaman na nakialam siya. No? But we elected Senator Trilon. And then, during the time of President Aquino, President Noynoy,
Yeah.
Pinoy wanted an LP member to be Senate President, but we did not elect him. We elected Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. So, pagdating ng 2016, kung hindi nakikialam si PRRD, I can assure you that. And then, nag-uusap-usap kami. Kami mismo ang nagpumili na si Coco Pimentel ang ilagay naming Senate President because he was party mate of the president. Parang gusto lang namin pagbigyan, para mapagbigyan ng presidente. Although hindi niya hinihiling. But then again, after a year and a half, and almost 2 years, my colleagues, my peers elected me as Senate President onto the 17th and 18th Congress. So, itong 19th Congress, I think it was the Senate itself that elected Mig Subiri.
Yeah.
And thereafter, Senator Chief Escudero. So, hindi ko na-experience na talagang ang presidente nakikialam sa Senado. That's why my answer to your question was yes and no.
Oh, ano yung no?
Hindi, yun na nga.
Yun na, mixed na yan.
Hindi, mixed eh. So,
Okay.
yes, dapat yung kapartido niya ay sumasang-ayon sa mga pananaw niya. But in the Senate, when it comes to the Senate leadership and some of the rules and laws that are being discussed, hindi usually tumatalab yung diin ng presidente.
So, given the experience of former Senate President Mig Subiri, who had a very unceremonious exit from the Senate, and you are not in hibernation the past 3 years, and now you are being groomed by your colleagues again to run as SP. Ano ang feeling mo, sir, sa present leadership in terms of yung sabi mo, interference or the Senate independence being compromised?
I will be talking off my hat if I say anything to that effect na alam ko yung nangyayari. Hindi ko alam ang nangyayari. I'm only being briefed by
You mean in the case of
incumbent senators, no? And I'm not
Subiri.
sure kung ano yung mga I was talking to Senator Tolentino, Senator Loren Legarda, Senator Subiri. So, mahirap pag mag-judge dito sa takbo ng Senate presidency ngayon. One thing I can assure you lang, not assure you, one thing I can say is that we're not very happy with the way the budget was passed last year, for this year. Yun ang isa sa mga reklamo nila sa amin mismo.
So, kasi ang nangyari no, sir, na nauso dahil sa mga electronic, ICT, mga information technology, nauso yung mga electronic signature, especially mga sa budget, sa BICAP. Yun ang constant alibi nila. Nag-sign ako na, pero electronic signature yan eh.
Hindi binasa.
Di ba yun ang nangyari?
Dapat yun, yung report ng chairman ng Committee on Finance, doon sila magbe-base. On after the BICAP. That is if the chairman of the Committee on Finance did the BICAP.
So, you are just being briefed what actually happened in the 2025 budget.
Yes.
And now,
we will find out more once we're there as a member of the Senate and once we tackle na the budget for
2026.
2026. We will know more what happened in the 2025 budget.
Pero off the cuff, sir, and you are your fellow re-electionist Senator Pampilo Lacson, who you know na talagang nag-scrutinize ng budget line by line. May anong mga piniprepare nyo for now? Kasi si Presidente mismo sinabi na virtually threatening to sit at the BICAM just to make sure it will not be mangled again in the incoming Congress.
We will make sure that the budget deliberations and the disagreeing provisions of both houses, when we tackle it, we will suggest that it be fully transparent, that the public be allowed through the media to watch over. Yun ang pinakamaganda. During my term as Senate President for 4.5 years, we made sure, I made sure that there are no mangling or insertions. As a matter of fact, there were attempts of insertion in which I definitely abhorred. As a matter of fact, there was one time a budget, if I'm not mistaken, the 2018 budget that I did not want to sign. And in the records of the history of the Senate from 1916 up to the present, there is only one budget that the signature of the Senate President had an annotation.
That was you.
That was me.
Anong annotation mo
Because
doon?
I did not want to sign it, and I signed it with reservations thereafter, only because I had the guarantee of President Duterte that he will veto the insertions, which I identified,
Oo.
which came to my attention through the the research of Senator Ping Lacson.
Oo.
Hindi namin pinayagan.
Ano yun? So
75
natatanda
billion.
mo pa ba yun? Kung ano yung specific?
Madami, iba-iba, pero 75 billion yun eh. Insertion after the BICAM. Hindi
Oo.
pwede yun.
After that, talagang nangyari na pala, mayroong president na.
Yeah. And I made sure that it be vetoed.
Oh.
Because magre-reenact na eh. Sa mga January na kami noon. Ayoko pa rin pirmahan.
Oo.
But
January 2017.
ang agreement namin was, yun na. Basta ibibito ni Presidente.
Oh, kaya pala maraming veto noon. Natatandaan ko maraming veto. So, that can be a precedent case that the Supreme Court can review. When
In
you,
this,
oo, kasi
is
ganun,
there a
yung
Supreme
2025
Court
budget,
petition?
di ba, nilelevate sa Supreme Court?
Ganun ba?
Oo.
Ay, lagot sila.
Oo, kasi meron ka yung president na meron palang...
Oo. Yes.
Mga-
They can look into the records.
Doon sa Gazette,
Depende yun.
may
Depende
reserve,
yun.
nakalagay doon, signed with reservation. Kasi nga,
Hindi,
ilalagay
saka
lang.
complete annotation ako doon. Nakalagay ko, herewith, Mr. President, attached is, blah, 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 blah. Yung sinabi ko over the phone, dapat.
Tinawagan ka ng Presidente.
Si Bingbong Medaldi ang kausap ko.
Oo.
Sabi ko sa kanya, ES, sabi mo kay Presidente, hindi ko pipirmahan to. Bakit? Ganito. Sabi mo sa kanya, the only way I'll sign it if he guarantees me that he will veto it. Because if I don't sign it, the next step should be call back the BICAM. Call back the BICAM and katakot-takot na pirmahan uli yan, babalik uli yan. Hindi babalik namin on, kung pwede nga, ibalik namin on third reading.
Pero sabi mo, January na, malapit na.
Ratification. Hindi, lampas na. Malapit, nagre-reenact na halos eh.
Oo.
Lampas na, January, ayoko pa rin pirmahan. Although December, mga middle December, tapos na yun eh.
Oo, dapat. Pero pag sinabi mong 2016, hindi pa yun ang budget talaga ng Duterte administration kasi pumasok si...
Hindi, 2017, 2018 ito, if I'm not mistaken.
2018
Pagkatapos palitan si Bebot Alvarez.
na House Speaker.
Yes, yun. Yung panahon na yun.
After, sino ba pumunod kay Bebot noon?
18. Speaker noon, si GMA.
Oo nga pala si GMA pumasok. So, halfway, yung budget maraming nangyaring milagro. Okay, that could be talagang dapat tingnan ng Supreme Court yun na pwede palang mangyaring ganon.
Well, I hope they're aware of that and they can look into that because there is a precedent.
So as incoming as member of the incoming BICAM, I mean the 20th Congress, sir, should fate smile at you to become the Senate President? Parang nabasa ko na merong pang third party interesado din. Si Senator Amy Marcos is being cajoled or encouraged by fellow And so tatlo na kayo bale, si Cheese, ikaw, and Amy in the 20th Congress. At this early, sir, have you count the heads?
Yeah, we've been talking to our colleagues and some of my colleagues are talking to me and we're in the stage where we're trying to find out the alliances.
Yun nga, tatanong ko.
Marami pang floating na alliances.
So ayan kasi from sa alyansa, ang kinakount ko lang, 5 ang pumasok. 6 na, sama mo si Amy.
Camille.
Si Camille, okay.
Yes.
Pero si Camille is...
6. That's kumisan, maganda mapag-usapan na rin natin yun. Kasi nakikita ko kumisan yung komentaryo, Dario, minsan narinig sa radyo. Ang totoo nun, yung eleksyon nitong 2025, some people are looking at it as a glass half empty. I look at it as the glass half full. Bakit? Out of 12, 6 ang nanalo sa alyansa eh. Oh. Uh, ang PDP, 3. Paano naging half full yun? Di ba? Ibig sabihin, half full yung chicks.
Kasi
Hindi
yung
half empty.
PDP 3, LP. Pero ang LP si
LP
Kiko.
dalawa.
Kiko, si
Well, we
Bam
consider,
is
kaya
as
nga, pero,
his own party.
then ang
Pero pareho
sabihin
silang
mo,
dalawan.
1-1-1.
Pero pareho silang dalawan.
6-3-1-1-1.
And Amy is isa.
Oh, yeah. So, ganun yun eh. So, how can you say that the Allianza was half empty?
Oo.
Hindi naman.
Pero if you look
Kasi
at...
they were expecting lang siguro that about 8 or 9 will win. Ganun isip nila. Pero hindi ganun ang eleksyon. Alam mo naman mga kababayan natin, basta't minsan iba ang pananaw nila, iba ang tingin nila. And in this elections, there were more of the younger generation that voted. Ano nga ito record ito eh. I was talking to the ambassador of the United States the other night, and she was saying that she was so amazed at 82% voted. You know, how she wishes that it happens in the United States, because in the United States they don't even reach 50%. That's ibang klase. Ito lang ang midterm na umabot ng 82% ang bumoto. Grabe ito.
Pero sir, if you look at the other half of the Senate, ano naman yung bilang sa kabilang yung 12 incumbent? Anong bilang mo naman doon?
Medyo mahirap magbilang doon through alliance, through party
Yes.
party lines. Kasi may mga kanya-kanya na silang relasyon eh. May mga relasyon sila doon sa kasalukuyang leadership na hindi natin alam kung bakit.
Yeah.
Pero ganun eh.
Pero pag minix up mo sir yung magkakaroon ng bilang namin, 4 ang NP. Ang NPC isa, ikaw lang.
Sa incumbent,
Oo.
ang NPC, Lito Lapid,
NPC nga pala.
JB,
Yersito?
JB,
NPC ba siya?
Sherwin Gatchalian, yeah, NPC yun eh.
Marami din pala kayo. 4
Loren
eh.
Ligarda,
Okay.
and Cheese Escudero, supposed to be.
Kasi independent naman yung tinakbo niya dati. Supposed to be lang siya.
Well, kaya nga, pero
Originally.
baka, I don't know, I remember that he filed a leave from NPC.
Leave lang.
Nag-leave lang, pero
Malaki pa rin yung balak kayo.
yung NPC,
Oo, pero kalaban mo nga si Jesus.
kung susunod,
Susunod.
kung susunod, alam mo naman, kaya sabi ko nga sa'yo, hindi na natin alam ang alliances ngayon ng party sa Senado because we don't know how the relationship of my former colleagues or my colleagues there are situated. Or hindi ko na alam kung anong...
So sa 20th Congress, mababago ang complexion ng ruling administration, yung majority.
In the 20th Congress,
Oo.
depende yan. Depende. Hindi ko mahirap sabihin. At this point, it's very difficult to say. Basta, as far as the Senate is concerned, in the 20th Congress, I know there'll be a majority and there'll be a minority.
Yeah,
Definitely. I don't foresee what I heard from another colleague saying that merong independent bloc, may minority, may majority. There's no such thing.
sa Senate.
There's no such thing. Why? You're either with the majority or you're not.
Oo.
Ganun yun.
Pero pag
therefore, if you're not with the majority, you are with the minority. You want to call yourselves a red and white bloc, or you want to call yourself an independent bloc or a blue bloc. It's up to you. But you're a member of the minority if you don't join the majority. But if you join the majority, you want to call yourself macho bloc, it's up to you. But you still either a member
Di ba
of the
kayo
majority.
yung macho black kayo?
Oo nga. If you vote to elect a Senate President, you are in the majority. Ganun kasimple lang naman. Walang ibang interpretasyon doon.
Correct.
May personal na interpretasyon nila siguro, pwede kung gusto nila, pero it is not. Definitely not. You are either in the majority or in the minority. You vote for the Senate President, you are in the majority. You don't, you are in the minority. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Pero, correct me sir if I'm wrong ha, pag ikaw tumakbo ng Senate President and and the two contenders, one of the losing contender becomes the automatic the Senate Minority Leader?
Traditionally, that is what happens, but not all the time.
Okay.
Sometimes the minority usually votes for their
For the,
minority leader.
okay. Kasi si Risa Ontiveros na Assistant Minority ngayon, she already declared na she will vie for the Senate Minority Leadership. Kasi out na si Coco eh.
And therefore, she's not voting for the Senate President.
Of course. Kasi nag-declare na sa sarili niya, I will vie for the Senate Minority Leadership. Does she need to run for Senate President?
Okay, so and I will take it at face value because what I heard is that they are with a different camp now.
Different camp? Si, with the BAM and Kiko, kasi siya yung nag-endorse eh. So, matatagdagan.
Well, that's what I heard, but I don't know where you got that from.
Did she announce it in sa Senado, Kapihan, when she was the guest? That she intends to run
So she
for...
will not vote for the Senate President,
count her out na.
di ba?
Oo.
In that case.
So, sir, sa, nabanggit mo na nga yung mga alliances, nagiging alliances for convenience to ngayon. So, and yung loyalty is rather shaky.
Unfortunately, yes. Well, that's how I hear it now. I hear it from my colleagues or those incumbent right now.
And as I announced earlier, the Senate reporters are now being briefed by your Senate spokesperson and your secretariat about the impeachment guidelines for media coverage.
I'm not familiar with that because during my term and during the term of the 9 other Senate presidents that I had, there's no such thing as spokesperson. You cannot be a spokesperson for 24 senators. There's no such thing.
I myself was surprised.
Spokesperson for the Senate Secretariat or the Senate President alone. No? But there's never been a spokesperson for the Senate. 24 republics yun eh.
Kaya nga.
So, invento lang yun.
Yung kasi kahapon, in-announce ng House, they designated their own House official spokesperson and the daughter of former Congressman Benny Abante. Kasi nabigla ako, may Senate spokesperson na rin pala dyan. I was told a year ago pa daw yun. Na may Senate spokesperson.
Not during our terms.
Sabi mo, 24 independent republics. Yun sir pala, yung natuwa ko sa announcement, one of your campaign promises is, and it's done. I would like to get it straight from you that once you get re-elected, you will forgo your salary and funnel it to scholarship.
Yes, I've already commissioned a screening team, both from my TVJ Productions group and my incoming Senate group. We already formed a screening team na hindi naman pwede kasi yung may kaya naman eh. Tapos gagawin natin scholar. Hindi. Kailangan yung mga mahihirap talaga. Yes, definitely. I will channel my salary or my monthly salary for 6 years.
Sir, curious lang ako ha. Gaano ba kalaki ang sweldo ng senator?
Salary grade 31, if I recall it right, approximately mga 300,000 a month.
300,000 a month.
Mm.
Sabi mo, pati Itbulaga mo, ibibigay mo? Kasi may Itbulaga screening team.
Hindi, screening team na ginagamit ko doon. So may sweldo naman sa Itbulaga yun.
Hindi, I mean, ikaw.
Hindi. May sarili talaga mga scholars.
Meron kay
Iba pa
separate.
yun, iba pa yun. Ito, sarili ko lang ito.
Okay.
Iba pa yung e-best. Yung e-best talagang TVJ Productions na nagbabayad, no?
May iba pa ba yun?
Iba yun, no? 30 yun. Matagal na namin ginagawa yan
Oo.
since the time that we turned 30. Mga elementary nga kinuha namin doon. Ngayon, may mga engineer, may mga doktor, may mga abogado na doon sa mga scholars namin.
Ano ba yung mga elementary grade na scholarship o high school o college?
Itong sa akin, whatever. Kung saan mayroong saan na-screen nila na nangangailangan, na mahilig mag-aral, mga
Needy
pagkatapos
families lang.
Naglalakad lang, tumatawid ng ilog, papasok ng eskwelahan, mga ganon, mga walang tsinelas. Ganon ang hinahanap namin.
So, ano yun? Pupunta sila sa Senator Soto's office to apply or
Hindi,
what?
pareho ng ginagawa namin sa TVJ Productions
Ano,
na
sir?
screening.
Ano, paano?
May mga nagsasubmit email, may mga nagpapadala ng sulat, ini-screen lahat yun. Ngayon lang, marami na eh. Marami na. Mula sa private office ko, may mga nagsasubmit na. Tatanggapin ko din naman yung mga pinapadala sa TV5.
So, ano sabi ng private office mo? How many na na-receive yung application?
Sa ngayon, hindi pa naman. Konti pa. Wala pang,
Pero wala mga examination yan, yung mga kasamuna, o mag-maintain ka ng grade.
Alam na nung, kasi veterano na yung mga ginamit namin sa e-best scholars eh. Veterano na sila kung paano ini-screen yan eh, para malaman eh. Tinatanong din ng mga teacher eh.
Okay.
Tinatanong yung eskwelahan. Ganun yan.
May acronym ba yung EBES?
Big pardon?
Anong acronym ba yung EBES?
Yes, Eat Bulaga Best Scholars.
Yun pala yun. So, which reminded me, meron kang bill. Marami kang unfinished business sa Senate when you step down.
Meron.
So, marami ka pang bills na nakatenga.
Meron. Aside from the fact that we need to exercise oversight
Oo.
in those bills that I have principally authored
In the past, di ba?
in the past. So, aside from the overseeing those bills, meron ako mga nabitin
Hindi napasa.
i-refile ko, hindi napasa. At meron akong mga bagong naisip na pangangailangan ng bansa.
Nakalista na ba ngayon sa'yo? Kasi, alam
Meron.
ko, tatatanda ko, you're trying to beat each other para yung Senate number 1, Senate Bill number 1.
Napasa yun eh. Senate Bill number 1 was doktor para sa bayan.
In law na ba yan?
Oo, that's the law already.
Yan, tatanong ko sana ano
Medical
nangyari.
scholarship.
Oo.
Yeah, yun ang isa sa mga gusto kong i-oversee.
Bakit hindi na-implement?
Hindi, na-implement. Mag-graduate na nga sa first week of July.
Oo.
Ang dami nang gagraduate doon sa 8 SUCs na mayroong medicine proper.
Oo.
As a matter of fact, I am invited in the graduation of the Cebu Normal University Medical School in the Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center in Cebu. There are 40 graduates. Yun yung unang batch sa Cebu, in Region 7. So in the 8 others, approximately, nasa mga 40 yan. Because supposed to be, ang budget na pinalagay namin doon, siniguro ko was at the very least 40 per year.
40
ang
billion.
pwedeng pumasok. 40 students
40 students
per
a year.
SUCs.
Okay. Per
Okay.
SUC.
40 students per SUCs every year. Dapat ang nakakapasok. Free medical scholarship, free tuition fee, free books. Free books, free lodging, at may allowance. Okay, the budget is there, always. Okay, ngayon, I found out that this year, 24 lang daw ang pwedeng i-accommodate, sabi ng CHED. Bakit? Tinatanong namin. Ang sabi na, kasi kulang ang budget. Anong kulang ang budget? Tinagpas eh. Binawasan daw yung budget ng DepEd saka ng CHED eh. Doon sa bahay kami. Sinanil, sinagay sa DPWH eh. Yan ang mga kailangan bantayan natin. Di ba? So, again, it's a an oversight function that the Senate must do, or a senator must do, in the laws that he has passed and principally authored, para na i-implement ng maayos.
Ano ba ballpark figure ng budget for that? 40 students a year lang eh.
No, 40 students per year per SUC. Pero during the time that we passed this law, 8 SUCs na nga alam ko na mayroong medicine proper.
Okay.
But now, nadagdagan na. Because I think when Senator Pia became Committee on Health ba? Or
Oh, yeah.
sa budget yata,
Oo.
siya yung chairman,
Health, oo.
vice chairman for the for the health, ano?
Oh, yeah.
Nadagdagan niya yung mga eskwelahan na na may medicine na proper na.
Very expensive ang medicine.
I'm not sure the exact number. Pero nadagdagan, hindi na 8 ngayon.
So, ang
Double figure na, I'm sure.
oo. And you will be addressing the graduation of the 40, yung total ng 40 sa
Oo.
sa Vicente Soto Memorial.
Yes,
Fortunately, kasi namesake ng
lolo ko.
lolo mo, kaya nabantayan.
Hindi, pero meron din mga ibang gagraduate sa Isabel because 5 years ago na to eh.
5 years ago na ba yan?
5 years ago na ito.
Duterte law pala yan, oo.
So, ano na yan, may mga gagraduate din sa ibang lugar, bilang ako imbitado.
Pero at least, you can say, lay claim to that. Kasi may isang senador na nanalo na kept claiming to himself yung college free education. Di ba?
Ang talagang pinanggalingan ng free tertiary education na pinasa ng Senate, dahil ng House, ng Congress. Okay,
310
both houses,
House members,
Okay.
24 senators, and yet he claims he was the one.
Ang pinaka-storya talaga nun, and this is documented, Senator Ping Lacson called my attention to an 8.4 billion peso floating in ARM.
Yeah.
In the Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, hindi identified kung saan, sino. So, sabi ni Senator Lacson during that time, focus kami,
Oo.
sabi niya, anong gagawin natin dito? Sabi ko, una sa lahat, kailangan i-cut yan. Wala pa lang nakalagay kung saan eh. Mapupunta. Alam na natin yan. Malulusaw yan. Di ba? So, hindi pwede. Okay. Senator Ralph Recto said that instead of just cutting it, let us place it somewhere else na kailangan. That was the idea ngayon na pumasok sa amin. Senator Lacson and I, we agreed. Sabi ko, lagay natin sa SUCs, State Universities and Colleges. Ilagay natin doon. Kasi during that time, I recall, may mga reklamo, kulang ang budget na UP, kulang ang budget ng ganito, ganyan. Teka muna, sabi niya, kung 8.4 billion yan, sabi ni Ping, edi pwede na pre-college sa mga SUCs, ilagay natin college, tertiary education. Yes, okay. So we placed it in the budget. That was the original law
Oo.
in the budget.
Oh.
So ang nangyari ngayon, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Cayetano, Senator three others filed a bill declaring free tertiary education. Yun ang pinanggalingan nun. Yun ang tunay na istorya nun.
And President Duterte signed it into law.
Kasi kung pinasa nila yung bill na yun, nang wala yung natuklasan sa budget the year before that, baliwala yun dahil walang budget eh. Once na walang budget ang bill mo, kalimutan mo na.
Yes. So, medyo delayed pala ako doon sa doktor, naging batas na pala yun.
Oo.
Kasi hindi, walang nababalita about, except now that, I was about to ask you. So, ano pa ang other bills na priority mo when you enter the 20th Congress?
Well, one is the anti-fake news.
Anong stand mo doon, sir?
Bah, fake news
Careful.
Bah,
But di ba
fake news.
merong delineation niya ng freedom of expression, somehow maapektuhan niya.
Oo, siyempre, we must preserve the freedom of the press, the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. We must preserve that. But it doesn't give you the license to come up with fake news, which is not correct or inaccurate, or let's say, di ba alin yung inaccurate? Okay lang yung inaccurate, wala tayong magagawa, tanga-tanga ka eh. Di ba, mali ang akala mo. Di, okay lang yun. Di walang problema doon. You have the freedom of katangahan, o freedom of speech also, di ba? Pero, pagka nag-iimbento ka, at sinabi mo, ito si ganito namatay. Ito si ganito, pinatay si ganito. Aba, hindi pala totoo. O, dapat doon, automatic, sa provisions na gusto ko, take down. And then, take down muna. And
So
then,
you mean sa social media yan? Social media. Oo.
Social media. Take down, and then, Sa social media lang na yun.
Oo, yeah.
Oo.
Kaya sabi ko, oops, careful.
Hindi. Mainstream?
Oo.
Hindi, layo. Hindi naman nangyayari sa mainstream yun.
Eh, may
Kung
online-
nangyayari man sa mainstream yun, kuryente lang eh.
Oo.
Kuryente. Kuryente is not fake
Eh,
news.
paano yung criticisms? Mga critical,
Hindi fake yun.
but they can claim. They can claim it's fake news.
Nagagwapuhan ka sa akin. Ano ba yun? Fake news ba yun? Hindi eh.
Yan ang sort of Damocles hanging over our heads na cyber libel. We have existing cyber libel. So why do we need for the anti-fake news?
Ay, hindi nga kasi cyber libel does not have a provision for takedown. Ang
Wala
nangyayari,
ba?
hahabulin ka lang. Wala, hahabulin ka. Gano'ng katagal? 1 taon, 2 taon.
So-
1 taon, 2 taon, nakabalag yung fake news mo ron. Di ba?
Social platform.
Di ba?
Oo, yeah.
So in other words, take down muna and then habulin yung naggawa ng fake news kung dapat kasuhan o hindi.
So,
Ganun lang kasimple yun. Hindi
Stand-alone.
problemahin.
Stand-alone law yan. Hindi amendment of the cyber law.
No, it's not.
Oh. Sino magde-determine ng accuracy ng sa fake news under your
Eh di
proposal?
yung tinamaan ng fake news, magre-reklamo siya doon sa
Saan?
what they call this, let's say Facebook or Instagram.
Yung
o
mga,
ano tawag doon?
yung platforms. Yung platforms.
Yung platform. Reklamo ko sa platform. Hindi
Eh
na
kaso
ba-
nga, nasa abroad yung mga yan, sa US, Facebook, Meta,
kaya nga, take down.
TikTok, sa China,
Ha?
DICT daw.
Pero kayo mismo eh.
Hmm.
Kayo, mainstream media sometimes is a victim of fake news.
Yeah, yung kinukopa yung logo namin.
Correct. Kaya, ganun. That's what I mean, di ba? Oo. Protection din ng mainstream media to. Tsaka protection nito ng mga legitimately gumagamit ng mga platforms na maayos naman ang gusto at maayos naman ang paggamit nila.
By the way, sir, i-appraise mo nga ka whatever happened to the Soto law, kung na-amend yun or not.
Yes, it's already a Soto the third law.
Ano yan? Ano, hindi ko na
Kasi Soto
nasundan
law
yun.
is the freedom of speech,
Oo.
all right? It's Senate Bill 06. Sipin mo yan, ha? Senate Bill 06 noong 1946.
Okay.
Okay? In 1946, they passed the law. My grandfather was the author na yun yung freedom of speech law, freedom of the press.
Oh.
Freedom of the press, no? So
Yung sa source yan eh, you cannot-
The Soto law.
Oh,
Yes,
you cannot force yung
you
kung sino
cannot-
source mo.
Yes, okay. Now, all the while, until 2000, ano ba itong year na to? 2000, early 2000.
Oh.
When I realized that the law of my grandfather was only for print media.
Wala pa kasi,
Media.
wala pang panahon ng ano.
Kaya wala, kasi 1946, wala
Oo.
pang radyo, wala pang
Meron
TV.
na.
Radyo, ano mga Voice of America lang ang maririnig mo. Hindi ba? Wala
Baka
pa
maganda
yun.
DCRH.
DCRH,
Oo.
Pero mainstream media lang. I'm sorry, mainstream, sorry.
Print.
Print media lang, ang protected ng Soto Law.
Okay.
So, ang ginawa ko, inamend ko.
Oo.
Ginawa ko, kasama ang TV, radio, basta broadcast.
Okay.
And also, tawag dito,
Social media.
social media, pero accredited social media
Mga online.
entities. Yes.
Katulad sa amin, may online kami.
Yes. So, yeah. Accredited. Ano yan? Kasama kayo.
Oo.
Kasama kayo
Kaya,
doon.
nabatas na ba yan, sir?
Oo.
Anong,
Batas na yun.
kailan?
Republic Act 11458.
Okay.
Ang tawag nga nila doon, Soto the third law. Biro
458.
nila kasi inamend ko yung Soto law.
Oo. 11458. Okay. Sinong presidente niyan? Sige mga iha. Duterte na
ba yan?
rin.
Duterte
Okay.
na.
And speaking of online fake news, di ba nung campaign, what did you experience? Marami si Senator Bong Revilla na re-electionist, pagpa-5 daw siya na cyber libel dahil sa biktima doon campaign. Did you suffer the same mga trolls, army of trolls whom he blamed for his loss?
Well, if he feels offended, he's free to file any case against anyone.
Isa yun, personally, sir, where you...
Hindi ko masyadong
na-feel yun?
Hindi ko nakakita eh. Hindi, I mean, very difficult for me to comment. Hindi ko nakikita yung mga reklamo, nire-reklamo.
Hindi, I mean, ikaw personally, where you bash,
Yung mga...
na talagang mga propaganda sa SOCMED
Meron daw.
daw.
Kasi hindi ko binabasa eh.
So,
Unfortunately for them.
Oo, di ba?
para, meron akong mga tawag dito, yung mga account ako. Pero yung office ko nag-handle, yung mga personal account ko, pamilya lang yun.
Okay.
Ganun lang
Sa
yun.
X, sa Meta, ikaw sa X.
Yan. Ganun
Nasusundan
lang.
nga kita,
So,
sir,
pagka may mga komentaryo, hindi ko naman binabasa eh.
Okay.
Sayang lang ang pagod nila.
Sir, I wish you can answer this. Kasi maraming tatanong sa, it's being talked about in how would you explain the resiliency of Senator Lito Lapid, who was, aside from you, who beat all odds? Kasi fellow actors at Bong Revilla, Willie Revillame, who was been topping, both are topping the pre-election surveys, and yet they lost miserably.
Malinaw ang message niya.
You mean Lito Lapid, Senator?
Isa lang ang message niya. Malinaw ang message niya. Ang message niya, mahirap lang ako. Hindi ako nakapag-aral. Stuntman ako. Naging artista ako. Naging vice governor ako. Naging governor ako. Tumulong ako. Pagkat alam ko kung ano pangangailangan ng mahirap. Simple lang ang message niya eh. So, pagdating ko sa Senado, ang batas kong ginawa ay yung free legal assistance para sa mahihirap.
Legal assistance.
Oo. Ganun kasimple yun. Yung kanyang, isa lang ang message niya eh. Malinaw yung message.
Bakit si Willie Revilla may jacket? Isa naman message niya eh. Yung jacket. Bigyan ng jacket.
Message ba yun?
So, maski nag-pre-election survey, tatap-tap siya, no? Ito na, wag na. Kapatid, si Ben Tulfo, kamuntik mag-trill po. Kasi nanalo si Erwin, nandoon si Rafi. Ikaw sa Senate, ikaw lang mag-isa. Sa Senate, 4 na brother, sister, brothers. How do you intend to, how do you insert yourself into this kind of political dynasty block?
Yung issue ng political dynasty, kailangan i-define na muna natin eh. What we mean by political dynasty. I think we should remain there muna. Ano ba ang political dynasty? Kasi nung araw pa namin pinoproblema yun nila Orly Mercado eh. Yung definition ng political dynasty. Yung second degree of consanguinity, everybody agrees to that. Pero what is covered? Ganun eh. Diba? Is a senator and a mayor covered by political dynasty? Nakaka-impluwensya ba? Kasi hindi ba? Ang sinasabi dito sa political dynasty na nirereklamo ng karamihan, mayor, yung asawa, vice mayor.
Okay.
Pag natapos yung vice mayor, yung mayor,
yung succession.
Diba? Yun ang sinasabi nila. Diba? So, anong definition natin? Ganun ba ang definition ng political dynasty? Kasi kung magkalayo,
katulad mo sa'yo. Sa'yo.
For example, ako'y senador. Si Vico Soto, mayor ng Pasig.
Yung anak mo muna.
Yung
Vice
anak
Mayor.
ko, vice mayor ng Quezon City. Is that political dynasty? Yun ba ang definition natin?
Matagal ka nang-
Basta magkapangalan ba o magkamag-anak ba? Hindi pwede na dalawang posisyon sa gobyerno. Ganun ba ang definition natin? Or yung may influensya? Yung congressman at yung mayor sa isang lugar.
Sphere of
May
influence.
influensya.
Sphere of
Yung
influence.
sphere of influence. Do we define it that way? Or, di ba? Kung taga Mindanao yung kamag-anak mo eh. Ikaw ay taga Visayas. Pero pareho kayong tumakbong, let's say, pareho kayong governor. Dynasty ba yun?
Pero yung sa'yo, dynasty. Grandfather mo pa lang. Merong pinag-ugatan.
Pag di-research mo, noong araw, 1916, up to now, Si Raul Roco ang nag-mention sa akin yan. Pinulungan ako, sabi sa akin. Brad, sabi niya, alam, justice. Alam mo, tawagan namin justice eh.
Bakit? Dahil
Wala,
impeachment?
biruan namin yan.
Akala ko
Justice,
impeachment.
justice.
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 Oh.
Kasi yan ang tawagan namin. Si Raul, tinatawag ko, justice. Sabi niya, alam mo ba na tayong dalawang original dynasty? Sabi niya, bakit? Eh, dalawa Roco nung araw eh, saka dalawa Soto. Sa Congress nung araw, saka sa Senate. Ganun ba? Sabi ko, hindi ko alam. Alam ko yung lolo ko, dalawa nagsabay, pero hindi ko alam, dalawa rin pala yung Roco nung araw. Siya nagbanggit sa akin nun eh. Kami raw yung original na political dynasty. Biro lang naman yun.
Anyway, sir, my last question before I open it to the floor. Ano po ba yung ano natin sa what can we look forward from you? I would not ask kung anong stand mo sa impeachment, ha? Pero nakalimutan ko. Ito talaga ako yung tanong ko. Si Robin Padilla right now is in The Hague. As di ba, senator siya. Senator Amy is with VP Sara now. Nasa Qatar going to The Hague. And nabasa ko somewhere na you intend to go back, when you go back to the Senate, you want to review the ethics committee. And I have been asking my research reporter, ito bang si Senator Robin at si Senator Amy nagpaalam sa Senate President? Is this official business? Is this on taxpayers' money or their personal expenses?
I am not private to
Pero,
their expenses. I don't know if they are using private money, their own money, or they are using the money of the Senate. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Pero sabi mo,
No, I don't think it falls under the category of ethics if you are visiting a friend. But,
pero
then,
I mean, magpapaalam ko muna sa Senate President o
hindi,
official business to.
Dati ginagawa namin yun.
Oo.
Dati. Pero if I recall it right, correct me if I'm wrong. During the time of Senator Drilon as Senate President, inalis namin yun.
Ethics?
Hindi, yung hindi ka na magpapaalam.
Okay.
Hindi ka na magpapaalam na pagka-alis ka out of the country, hindi ka na kailangan magpaalam. Parang ganun yung...
Pero I mean, yung kasi pag official business, taxpayers money yun dahil makakakuha ka ng allowance, travel allowances, and expenses mo charged to the Senate.
Yeah, it's up to them. But ako, I can speak for myself. I have never traveled abroad from 1992 to the present na ginamit ko ang transportation allowance ko ng Senate. Never ko ginamit.
Pero nabanggit mo nga na you're going to review your Senate rules of conduct yata yung nasabi mo nun dahil in reference to the mga lumalabas sa social media, especially on Robin Padilla, na nagsusuklay ng bigote niya while nakakanto ko public hearing.
No, ang nasabi ko, if I am not elected by my peers, and I am asked for my preference for a committee,
Ethics.
sabi ko, Committee on Ethics. Tinanong
Okay.
bakit? Para naman maisaayos natin ang takbo ng mga rules and procedures sa Senado at
that
saka
context.
yung pagdadala ng isang senador sa sarili niya dahil nire-represent niya yung buong bansa as a senator. Ganun lang sinabi ko.
Okay. So, ayun, mabalik ako sa, ano ko,
Kung tatanungin ako, kung gusto kong opera ng committee.
oo.
Ganun yun.
Pero pag Senate President ka, wala, ano ka lang,
Yeah, wala.
ex officio lang.
Ex officio.
So, ang right now, ang you won't delve into the, kung magiging Senate President ka o hindi. Pero pag nagkagano, magiging minority ka if you're not elected Senate President, would you accept that post, Senate minority?
Probably. The Senate President, pro temp, and then the
Okay pala. Senate President
the
pro temp.
majority leader and the minority leader are ex officio members of all committees.
Pero ang preference mo, Senate Ethics Committee, ang if ever mapunta sa'yo.
If ever I'm left in the cold, if ever my colleagues leave me in the cold, and I am offered a committee, yun ang preference ko. Kung hindi rin lang, wag na.
Okay. Pero meron ka ng MPC block 6 senators na yun agad. Anyway, on that note, I open the floor for your questions. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning po, Senator. Mia Layagin from TV News po. Aside po sa pagpasok ng 20th Congress, isa sa inaabangan or pinaghahandaan din ng Senate ay ang impeachment trial nga po ni Vice President Sara Duterte. According to Senate President Cheese Escudero, by June 3 ay magko-convene na po as an impeachment court ang Senate. Bilang Senator-elect po, ano po yung mga preparations niyo personally for that impeachment trial?
If ever, sa amin, it will be in July 28 pa, no? Although we will be senators by July 1, pero July 28 pa kami magkukonvene ng 20th Congress, no? I'm prepared because I'm a veteran of 2 other impeachments. No? I don't know about the others, no? Tandaan ko lang, sila Senator Lacson kasama ko doon sa second impeachment. But in the first impeachment, I'm not sure kung mayroon pa akong natitirang kasama noon. I think Senator Loren Ligarda, yes. So I'm prepared. I have a very good mastery of the parliamentary rules and procedures. And then as far as my knowledge of the rules of court, fair. So I'm prepared. Just whatever comes up as far as the impeachment is concerned.
Another question lang po. During your past terms po, ang isa po sa mga in-advocate nyo ay campaign against illegal drugs and human rights. Given po yung situation ngayon ni former President Rodrigo Duterte sa ICC na magkakaroon ng trial for that same matter kasi meron nga daw po mga violations in human rights in regards to the campaign or war on drugs campaign ng kanyang administration. So, sa inyo pong part, if sa pagpasok or pag-upo niyo po, pagbalik niyo sa Senate, will there be any revisions sa inyong naging previous advocate para hindi siya maging matulad sa situation ngayon ni President?
Yes, indeed. Thank you for that question because I plan to amend the Republic Act 9165, of which I am the principal author of, the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, which created the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency and upgraded the Dangerous Drugs Board, which was just a bureau, a small bureau in the Department of Health before that law. No, I plan to amend it. We've amended it some time ago already. Section 21, binago namin, yung mga custody, yung mga ganon. Pero this time, because of what happened during the time of President Duterte, and even during the time of President Aquino, itong pasok ng 20th Congress, para sa akin, I think the best move would be to amend it and create, merge the Dangerous Drugs Board with the PDEA and create a Presidential Drug Enforcement Authority. Okay? It becomes an authority wherein there will be 4 bureaus under, which will include the 4 major concerns of how to handle the problem of drugs and illegal drugs and drug abuse. You see, those are 2 different animals. Illegal drugs is different from drug abuse. And that's not how other people look at it, and that's why they have a problem. Dahil nga, ganun eh. So, ang nakita ko sa pagpapatupad nitong dating batas, at saka sa na-concentrate do sa 4 major concerns, na-concentrate sila sa enforcement at saka sa prosecution. Sa enforcement nga, ang dami nangyaring, kaya nagkakaroon ng kasuhan, sa mga namatay, sa the way the enforcement was carried out, di ba, yung mga ganon. Pagdating sa prosecution, ang sama ng batting average natin. It's around a little less or a little over 80% dismissed. Ganun eh. So hindi natututukan ito ng tama. Ang enforcement medyo lihis ng konti. At napapabayaan yung 2 other major concerns, which is prevention and rehabilitation. So that the Presidential Drug Enforcement Authority will be able to enhance prevention and rehabilitation. How do we do that? kailangan ang enforcement, nag-o-oversee na lang ang presidential authority over the PNP and other anti-narcotics units. Okay? Yun namang sa prosecution, again, the presidential authority, no, will oversee the way the DOJ is handling the cases nationwide and these prosecutors. Okay? And then, prevention, the DepEd must have a drug abuse resistance education program from grade 5 to grade 7. Para pagtungtong ng 13 years old nito mga ito, pagtungtong ng high school nito mga ito, alam na nila problema ng droga, alam nila what it is about, they know it will ruin their future, alam nila masisira pamilya nila rito, masisira ang buhay nila. No? So you will be able to prevent this new 13 years old from trying. And then prevention is not limited to the students. Prevention should also include sports, media, the church. Everybody should be involved in prevention. So there must be conferences, seminars for parents, for prosecutors, for sports, for media. So ganun dapat yung bureau na will handle ng prevention, which will oversee Department of Health, Department of Education. All right. Then, rehabilitation. Right now, out of the 48 rehabilitation centers in the country that I know of, only 17, if I'm not mistaken, 17 ang accredited by the Department of Health. So what's wrong? And ask the Department of Health, how are they doing as far as rehabilitation is concerned? And rehabilitation, that's why this authority, presidential authority, can oversee the way the rehabilitation program is being handled by the Department of Health. Now, why? Ang rehabilitation, hindi basta rehab center, idadali mo rin ang drug dependent. Hindi ganun eh. You must profile the drug dependent. Anong klaseng rehabilitation program ang bagay sa kanya? Kaya maraming labas-masok eh. Mali yung programa. Dapat yun, inaalam mo, pwede pa sa kanya yung faith-based program o yung multidisciplinary program o yung 12 Steps Minnesota Model Program or eclectic program. But dapat ganun eh. Does the Department of Health do that? No. Since in the last 12 years, in the last 10 or 12 years, have they been doing that? No. So a Presidential Drug Enforcement Authority may oversee that program of the Department of Health. That's the reason that I am going to amend the Republic Act 9165 and make it and create the Presidential Drug Enforcement Authority in the law itself. Yeah, I hope I was able to, mahaba lang, pero I hope I was able to answer the question.
May twofold question lang ako, sir. Follow-up sa kanya. First, as a veteran of 2 impeachment courts and the Senate as a continuing body, at this early, sinabi na ni Senate President Escudero na it might likely reach the next Congress na, hindi lang matatapos by June 30 ang trial. Carry over. Based on your research or experience as impeachment court justice, pwede ba ituloy to the next 20th Congress pag hindi na natapos sa June 30 ang impeachment?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question, and I will not be surprised if somebody brings that up to the Supreme Court because it's practically a justiciable issue.
Yeah.
So, ngayon, ganito. There are 2 conflicting rules. The Senate rules and the impeachment rules. Okay? Ito, opinion ko to. At saka ito, opinion ng isang dating Senate President at Majority Leader. Okay?
Ikaw?
Ngayon. The Senate rules are very explicit. And it emanates from the Constitution. The Senate rule says that any business, pagdating ng adjournment sine die, dies. Wala, oo. Kaya nga, committee reports, bills are refiled. Committee reports are not considered as a committee report. It is, you have to refile it. You may consider it as part of your records, but you cannot use it as the committee report unless
Okay.
you rewrite it because it died after adjournment sine die of the Congress.
June 30.
So, the June 30. So, yun ang Senate rules.
Oh.
At yun ang sinasabi ng Constitution.
Oo.
Okay.
Sa Constitution din.
Yan, sa Constitution din.
Oh.
Ito ngayon, impeachment rules.
Oo.
Impeachment rules,
Existing, you mean? It is,
existing impeachment rules is also somehow, laman doon yung sinasabing forthwith.
oo.
No?
Nasa Constitution
na
din.
ibang interpretasyon ng ibang tao na ang forthwith nila kung kailan nila gusto.
Mm.
Hindi ganon. So, forthwith, alright. Tabi na natin yung issue na. Doon tayo sa impeachment rules at the moment. Ang impeachment rules, ang nakalagay, pag inumpisahan yung impeachment, tatapusin
Oo.
until the end, okay, of the impeachment,
Ah.
until decision is made. Ganon. Okay. Ang problema, June 30 tapos.
Kaya nga.
So those are the two conflicting rules.
Oo, yeah.
And the impeachment rules emanate from the Senate rules, which the Senate rules emanate from the Constitution.
Oo.
Bakit ko kabisado? Ako yung author ng impeachment rules.
Of the corona.
Ni Corona. Kasi yung ako ang chairman ng rules during
Oh.
that time. I was majority leader of Senator Enrile,
Oo.
who was Senate President then.
Oo.
So, yun yung laman ng impeachment rules.
So,
O
medyo,
ngayon,
oo.
ano
Shaky,
ngayon?
oo, yeah.
Continuing ba?
Oo.
O hindi?
Will it continue to the 20th Congress?
Will it continue? Yan. That is the question.
Oo. Okay. Natanong na actually yung aking second question, yung what will happen to the 20th Senate kung aabot yung impeachment sa panahon nyo? Ano mangyayari dun? So parang re-refile din uli yun. As far as your existing impeachment rules, they have to refile it.
Hindi. As far as the Senate rules are concerned,
Oo.
they will have to refile it.
Oo, refile
But
it.
as far as the impeachment rules are concerned, it may carry over.
Oo.
Okay. Ngayon, may dalawang conflicting na naman na issue dyan.
Oo.
The 1950 Supreme Court ruling na sinasabi na, kalimutan ko na yung title pero sinasabi na continuing body ang Senate.
Yes, oo.
Pero 1952, wala pa yung 1987 Constitution.
Oo.
Okay.
Oo.
Ayan. Ngayon, mayroon bagong ruling ang Supreme Court, yung Balag versus Senate,
Ano yung Balag versus Senate?
na sinasabi na pag nag-adjourn sinidi ang Senate, tapos ka.
Oo.
Tapos lahat. Tapos ang committee report mo, papakawalan mo
kasi
yung
yun na nasa Constitution
papakawalan mo yung, yung mga,
Nasa side for contempt.
diba, aside for contempt.
Oo.
Ano yun ang susundin natin?
Ano nangyari kay Balag? Pinalabas si Balag.
Pinalabas natin.
Research ko nga yan. So,
di-
paano yan?
Ganda, di ba?
Oo.
Sige, hilo na rin ako.
So, tapos may pending Supreme Court petition pa si VP Sara na questioning yung kanyang yung fifth impeachment case na sa kanya, pinal sa kanya.
Meron ba nakapile?
Di ba, yung first four, sinet aside ng House and they drafted the fifth. Yun ang pinadmit nila sa Senate, yung fifth version. Kaya yun ang kinocontest nila Sara sa Supreme Court na isang beses lang ako pwedeng impeach.
In 1 year. Dapat. Isang beses lang. The reason, para maalam din ng mga kababayan natin, the reason na ang nakalagay sa Constitution, once year lang pwedeng impeach ang isang impeachable officer, is because, pag hindi, buwan-buwan i-impeach ka, buwan-buwan walang nagawa ka, wala ka ng trabaho, hindi ka nakapagtrabaho. Dahil sumasagot ka rin sa impeachment. Kaya nga binawal sa Constitution.
Based on our conversations just now, pagpasok ko na ng 20th Congress, pag hindi natapos yung impeachment trial ni Sara, debate agad sa 20th Congress dahil, ano ba to? Are we going to refile this or what? O dead na yon?
Ang galing mo.
Labo-labo naman niya pag-open.
Ang galing mo. Parang ang merong crystal ball.
Kasi ngayon, ang tanong kahapon na interview si President Marcos, the Cardema, the Duterte Youth, it has filed an impeachment against you. Wala namang session ng Congress ngayon. And most likely, I'm sure, most likely, they will file it in the 20th Congress.
Hmm.
So, ano ang magiging, ano mo dyan, play mo dyan? Sa 20th Congress, si PBBM naman papayla ng impeach.
Bahintayin na lang namin muna kung merong, ano tawag doon, in form and substance.
We will wait for it.
Siyempre, you must always be impartial. Pag merong ini-impeach na impeachable officer, you must always remain impartial and look at the presentations, the pleadings, kung tama yan. Sabi naman nila, the statement ni Senator Cheese is they have no intention of changing the impeachment rules.
Wow.
The impeachment rules that
So, yung Soto rules ang magre-prepare.
Yung impeachment rules kay Corona.
Okay, kasi gahul na nga sila sa time kung magbabago pa sila ng rules, it will take another time, di ba? The last time we talked with Senator Cheese.
May publication yun.
May publication requirement yun.
Mm.
So they will adopt the Soto law. So based on his statement, which will prevail?
The Soto rules.
The Soto rules. Which, if we apply it, they have to refile it in the 20th Congress. Di ba? Yun ang nasa...
Kung babaguhin nila,
Hindi na nga daw, di ba? Sabi ni
Hindi
SP.
nga niya babaguhin.
Kaya nga, pag nag-crossover, hindi na natap sa June 30 yan, when the 20th Senate comes in, the Soto rules apply. They have to refile it from...
Hindi. Sa impeachment rules, kailangan tapusin.
Kailangan ba tapusin?
Kailangan tapusin yung impeachment.
Kaya nga, pag hindi na natapos yun,
Hindi nila natapos yun.
Patay
That is the thinking ng iba na, hindi, crossover yan. Carry over yan. Diba? Kasi hindi natapos.
Sabi nga,
And the Senate is a continuing body. Yun ang thinking ng iba eh. Ang thinking naman ng iba, hindi. Adjourn sine die, dead kayo eh. Diba? 20th Congress na ito eh. Carry over nga yung 12 eh. Diba? Sasabihin, diba? Oo nga, yung bagong 12. Diba?
Soto rules na nang apply, di patay yun. Kung
Ayun.
hindi lang natapos.
Pag
They have
hindi
to complete it by June 30. Whether they like it or not.
They must finish.
Oo.
Meron din constitutional provision na dapat June 13 tapos sila eh. Adjourn sine die yan because
pero ang contention ng body...
Before July 28, dapat 90 days pa yun.
For the SONA.
35 days.
For the SONA.
Nasa constitution din yun. Dapat may gap.
Na ganong days.
May gap. Kaya hindi sila
hindi
pwede
June
mag-continue.
30, but June 13 talaga.
June 13. June 13.
Hindi kasama sa bilang yung gap na kailangan.
Adjourn sine die June 13 no matter what.
Wow. Can you do that in 2 weeks? Impeachment trial?
I don't know. It's up to them. Basta yung sinasabi mo, the impeachment rules, carry over yun.
Oo.
Carry over yun.
Kasi di
Dahil
ba binago
kailangan tapusin eh. So, nag-adjourn sila ng June 13, nag-adjourn na sila kung saan sila inabot.
June 1-3 hindi June 3-0.
Ganun yun.
Okay.
Yung Senate rules ang nagsasabi, based on the Constitution, na pag adjourn sine die kayo, lahat ng business nyo patay.
Kasi nabasa sa Constitution, Congress has until June 30. So yun ang kinakount ko, the lifespan of the Congress, June 30, hindi June 13.
Hindi, pero adjourn sine die June 13.
So ang mag-apply...
Actually, hindi naman June 13 talaga kasi yun eh. There's a number of days before the next Congress. Before the next Congress.
July
actually,
24
tinatawag yung
ang next Congress. So,
28.
28 pa yung Monday.
July 28.
Fourth Monday of the month.
Oo nga, fourth Monday of the month. Diba? Yun yung sabi ng Constitution.
Ah.
So yung fourth Monday of the month, tapos ilang days before that, yung adjournment sine die. This year lang, tumapat sa June 13. Pero in the other 4 years, 3 years thereafter, not necessarily June 13, meron nga June 10, depende kung saan tumatak yung fourth Monday.
Ang gulo niyan.
Ayan. Pero again, as I said, it's a justiciable issue. Pwede dalhin sa Supreme Court. At may nagdala na pala.
Interpretation of the law.
Oo.
Any more question? Okay.
Yes, Naomi po from Balitang A to Z. Senator,
Naomi.
balikan ko lang po yung about sa Senate presidency. Last week po nasabi nyo na hindi pa po kayo nakakapag-usap ni SP Cheese.
Hindi pa kayo nakakapag-usap.
Pag-usap ni SP Cheese po about this. Ngayon ho ba nadi-discuss nyo ng dalawa at the same time? Ano na ho yung preparations nyo for possible term ng Senate presidency for
next.
Hindi pa rin kami nakakapag-usap eh. The last time we talked was when he took over as Senate President last year. And then thereafter, we talked again on the phone only about the request from a governor in Bicol. That was the only time that we have talked. We have not talked thereafter.
Ano na po yung preparations ng Senator for possibility na maupo kayo as Senate President? Meron na po.
Ready and willing and able.
Well, all I have to do is look back at the past. Because the past has prepared me for it. I have served 9 Senate Presidents, either as Majority Leader, Minority Leader, Assistant Majority Leader. So, and I have been Senate President for 4.5 years. I think I know what to do. in case, if ever.
Okay? Ayan, sir.
Hi sir, good morning po. Dante Amento of UNTV. Sir, curious lang po. Dati kayong Senate President. Ano po ba ang crucial po ba ang role ng isang Senate President sa impeachment case? Gaano po siya ka-crucial? Thank you.
Siya yung presiding officer if it's not the president who is being impeached. No? Kasi pagka presidente ang ini-impeach, the presiding officer must be the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Yun yung nasa konstitusyon. The Senate President is the presiding officer. But we must remember, akala nila kasi parang yung Senate President na judge eh. Hindi. The impeachment court is the judge. There are 24 members of the impeachment court. Therefore, there may be rulings that the Senate President or the presiding officer can do on his own, but it can also be contradicted by the court. He can also bring it to the court if there is any ruling that is necessary. Ganon yung pagkakaiba ng typical rules of court, ng ating dikatura at ng impeachment court. The Senate President is merely the presiding officer. It is the impeachment court that has the power. So kung let's say merong ginawang ruling ang presiding officer, ang Senate President, pwedeng questionin ng members ng impeachment court and bring it to a vote. Or otherwise, if the Senate President is wise, he will always, if it is controversial, he will always ask the court to decide. And not him alone dahil siya tatamaan. Ganun lang ang, yun ang role ng Senate President in the impeachment trial.
Okay? Just to wind down. Sige.
Ay, Sir Mads po from Net25. Sir, if ever lang na hindi matapos ng June 13, paano yung magiging process sa impeachment? Kailangan yung mga mauupo by June 30 or July 1, pagbobotohan ba siya dapat? Magko-convene ba kayo agad as impeachment court? Magbobotohan ba yung members? Kung ano po yung
With the new
decision,
elected.
Itutuloy ba yung impeachment? Paano?
Very good question kasi that is a issue that they themselves will have to decide. Pero by July 28, doon pa lang sila magkukonvene. Kasi yung July 1, they are already in 12 noon of June 30, 30. Okay,
Effective
senators
na.
na sila. Alright. Pero they will prepare their offices and their staff and all that. Pero pagdating ng July 28 pa lang sila magkukonvene. Doon pa lang magkukonvene ang Senate President ng Senate. So that is the time that your next question would come in. Na will they consider themselves as a part of the impeachment court? Will they take their oath? Kasi ang suspecha ko, ang gagawin nila sa June 2 or June 3, kung ano man ang kursonada nila, mag-o-oath sila. They will constitute themselves as an impeachment court. And the 12 or the 24 members will take their oath as member of the impeachment court. Pero the work of the 12 who will end their term will end by June 13. And by June 30, hindi na sila member ng Senado. Except the re-electionist. Ano? So, pagdating ng July 1, hindi pa yan. July 28 pa lang, yung mga bago, kung sila ba ay mag-o-oath as members of the impeachment court, na kasama nito mga dati, or didebatihin nila yung issue na yan. We leave it, well, depende. July 28, dapat gawin nila yan.
Parang hindi nag-apply yung continuing body ang Senate.
Continuing yun, yung 12.
Yung
ano?
12 lang.
Oo.
Pwede ba yung 12 lang?
Oh, pero hindi mo pwedeng i-consider na continuing nung, let's say,
The 12 others.
let's say, si Pia Cayetano. Member siya ngayon.
Okay, kasi
Re-elect siya.
Oo.
Okay. Sasabihin niya, continuing ba siya? Hindi. June 30, tatapos ng term niya.
Okay.
Oo.
Okay.
June 30 ng alas 12 ng tanghali,
Ang daming
bagong
questions
Senator
pa.
Ulysses.
Oo, ang daming questions nga.
Oh, yun ang ano nun eh.
Oo.
Yun ang sitwasyon
Kaya
nun.
justiciable
Hindi
talaga.
pwedeng sabihin na, hindi, ano yan eh. Incumbent yan eh. Oo, hanggang June 30, incumbent.
Okay.
July 1, bagong
Hintay
Senator
pa.
ulit siya, bagong term ulit siya.
Pero convening July 28 pa.
Ang continuing yung 12 2028
Hindi naman
matatapos.
pwedeng impeachment trial, 12 lang.
Ha?
Yung impeachment trial, di ba pwedeng 12 lang, di ba?
Walang quorum.
Oo.
Alin?
Hindi na.
Yung mga nag-oath ngayon na 12 at saka siguro yung crossover, baka hindi na kailangan mag-oath. Yung 12, I'm sure, hindi na kailangan mag-oath kung nag-oath na sila ngayon.
As
Pagdating ng
impeachment
July
trial.
28.
Oo.
Ano, pero yung July 28, I think the new ones will have to take their oath if they will continue as an impeachment
Oo.
court.
If allowed by law. Okay. If, di ba sabi niya?
Depende. If. That's a big if.
Oo.
You know?
Kaya ang daming magulo, masalimuot. Sir, to wind down kasi alam ko mapuputak na ng traffic. As SP, as Senate President, ikaw din ang presiding officer ng Commission on Appointments. Ano initially ang cabinet shake-up ni Bongbong Marcos? Marami dadaan sa Senate ngayon. Parang cabinet reset nga.
Well, the Commission on Appointments is has a very powerful investigative body. So, yung rekomendasyon mismo ng commission, ano, yung executive commission, executive proper, malaking bagay yun sa pagsasubmit sa mga incumbent, doon sa magiging members ng 24-member commission.
Oo,
Yung
kasi-
presiding officer, yung Senate President, presiding officer lang yun.
Kaya nga, ikaw nga
yung-
magiging presiding officer.
Yung
di ba?
presiding officer lang yun. Hindi nga bumoboto yun eh. Boboto yun in
Pag may
case of a
time.
tie.
Oo.
He need not vote. He should not vote. He only votes when there is a tie. So yung labindalawang senador at saka labindalawang congressman, they usually rely on the submission of the commission executive department na pagsasubmit ng commission sa kanila na imbestigahan niya. Sabi ng kapitbahay, masama ugali niya.
Executive
Sabi
din ba
na-
nag-ano?
Hindi, executive ang tawag ko doon.
Pero
Sa commission.
Secretariat. Oo, yun, secretariat.
Secretariat ng commission.
Oo.
Magaling ang investigative arm niya.
Oo.
Medyo ano yan, parang isap yan.
So ano ang comment mo dun sa cabinet reset na yan?
Ay, hindi ko pa kabisado. Basta siguro, the president wants to evaluate the performance of the cabinet members. And after 3 years, probably, he has an assessment already in mind. Baka ganun.
Okay. On that note, I would like to ask our guest to give his takeaway statement to cap our Kapian today.
All right. Thank you very much. Again, Ichu, my dear friend. Thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for your questions, this opportunity for me to explain some of my perspectives on the different issues in the political landscape. Yung mga naipangako ko ng kampanya, iba po akong mga ako, hindi napapako. Talagang gagawin ko yun. At yung may mga bago akong hindi binanggit doon dahil baka mapag-initan ako.
Bakit?
Ano? Kaya nga tapos na eleksyon, pwede ko nang banggitin yung mga ibang gusto
Mga
kong gawin.
unpopular,
Mga unpopular eh.
such as
The Freedom of Information.
FOI.
FOI bill. Pag-file ko yun. Di ba?
Yeah.
And then amendments to the party list law.
Okay.
Amend ko yun. Pa-file ko rin yun. Yun yung mga, di ba din,
Unpopular.
Chair? Di ba din?
Unpopular nga mga, ano pa?
Tapos
Yung political dynasty.
environmental engineering law.
Ba, ano yan? Sa
Abo,
reclamation?
kaya mga environmental engineers hindi napapansin eh.
Oo.
Dahil hindi nila alam kung gaano kahalaga yung environmental engineering sa atin eh.
Oo.
Kaya tayo may problema sa
Is that a course or just,
Oo,
ano
yes,
magiging, ano yung
yes,
law na yan?
Oo. Ano yan? Ang laki ng impact sa environment.
Environmental engineering law.
Okay, oo.
Okay.
And then, I will push for the continuance of the election, the BARM election.
Okay.
Ano? And I will also file the...
BARM o yung barangay SK?
BARM. BARM.
Meron na nga sa October, di ba?
October, kaya nga. Dahil may mga gusto mag-postpone eh.
Ano naman?
Wag, oo. Kaya tuloy na yun. And I will also file the creation of the Moro Province
Ano naman yan?
in BARM. In BARM, right now, in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao,
Oo.
there are 8 municipalities
Sa Sulu.
composed of 140 barangays, if I'm not mistaken.
Oo.
8 municipalities na hindi alam kung ano probinsya nila.
Oh.
Na na-create, na nag-yes noong BARM
Kasi
election.
nag-gerrymandering.
Hindi gerrymandering ito.
Hindi, yung nang nag-create niyan.
Ay, hindi naman. 8 municipalities sila eh.
Oh.
Na hindi sila sakop ng Lanao del Norte, hindi sila sakop ng ganito.
Okay.
Wala silang probinsya.
Okay.
So, I will file the creation of the Moro Province. Silang 8.
Okay.
Mm.
Na, how many
Para maging
barangays?
83 na ang probinsya natin. 140 barangays yata. Ayun, that I am not sure. But I'm sure of the number
Nagiging
of
83
municipalities.
provinces. Nagiging 83 provinces.
Oh, in the Philippines. Moro
Pero saan mo
Province.
lalagay? Sa BARM mo lalagay din.
Ito sa BARM yun eh.
Kung magpe-pledge.
Kaya lang wala silang probinsya.
Ang pinare-reset na abangan, ay hindi po, na magiging batas na to eh. Barangay SK election.
I-reset na naman.
Oo, dahil in-extend yung term of barangay chairman and SK officials from the present 3, gagawin 4 or 6.
Wow.
Kasi under the law,
Wala,
under the
eh,
constitution
pati-
daw eh, di ba sila covered ng term limit eh.
Wala, hindi tayo participant doon eh.
Oh,
Tignan
yun.
natin pag nandun na tayo sa
Oh,
Senate.
sige. Sa sunod, ikaw
Thank
uli
you.
namin na panel. Thank you very much on that note.
Thank you.
So can I call you now SP Tito Soto?
No, di ba? Hindi naman.
Oh.
Mga colleagues namin ang bahala doon.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Alam ko, very busy ka. Alam sa bibigyan ng